If you truly wish to understand the rapid pace of China's development of the last 40 years, then the logical place to start is Shenzhen, a city built from nothing that in just 4 decades has grown to be one of the true tech powerhouses of the modern world. In 1978, Deng Xiaoping initiated a series of reforms, both social and economic, that after many years of isolation would thrust China into the global sphere once more.
Shenzhen is a quite young city, a very vigorous city with a lot of young people, and we got the spirit of discovering and working hard.
一个词语去形容这个城市，我会选择这个爆炸。
然后深圳呢，就是我自己选择的故乡，对，它就是我选择的故乡吧。
It's just incredible to think that when you live here, you are part of the history of the city.
We don't learn about Shenzhen in history books. We're writing the history right now.
In May 1980, it was decided that Shenzhen was to become the first of 5 special economic zones. No one could have predicted what would happen next. People flocked to the city from across China to make their fortune. The original villages such as Baishizhou offer the best insight into what it means to be a newly arrived migrant to the city. American entrepreneur Stephen often visits the area of Baishizhou for some food and a beer.
Essentially, Shenzhen was just a collection of urban villages like we see here today. And eventually this will be gone and it will be new shiny buildings. But this is a little bit like stepping back into time and seeing what life used to be like. I mean, it's exciting times to be in. We can see very clearly not just a country, but a city rising economically to very impressive heights. And we're in the middle of it. And it's very exciting to be in the middle. Every place has a history to tell. But this is real new history, and the history that's going to be memorable about Shenzhen is the economic growth and the high technology of this city.
But what attracts the dreamers to Shenzhen in the first place? Merely a stone's throw from Baishizhou is the high-tech park, which is home to many of China's most recognizable brands. French entrepreneur Laurent, who runs the smartwatch company Omade and his sister brand Oclean, is very enthusiastic about the city's business-friendly atmosphere.
You know, Shenzhen is the innovation city of the world nowadays. Why? Is because they have been building over the last decades, like all these ecosystems, is from design to engineering. So what we call this Shenzhen speed is really about the strengths and the advantages of this ecosystem and all the partners living just next door.
But of course, it's not just foreign entrepreneurs that were attracted to Shenzhen. Helen Zhao runs an English language training school in the wealthy suburb and is one of many millions of young Chinese migrants that left their hometown in search of a new life.
然后我记得我刚来深圳的时候，那时候我们的那个罗湖，那时候还没有高铁哦。10年前的时候，我来深圳都是坐12个小时，西发招致的那个特快 T 字头的列车，然后早上一醒过来，从罗湖火车站出来。坐巴士去公司，然后就会看到车窗外面的那个广告牌，就有很大很大的字，就是来了就是深圳人。然后我觉得这个标识给我一种我被欢迎，被这个城市接纳的这种感受。
Helen is also very impressed by Shenzhen's speed and believes that this is what attracts many people to the city.
我在朋友圈看到前2天我的前同事，他说他去过很多城市，但是深圳办居住证的速度是最快的。他的身份是在武汉嘛，然后他们家买房子也是在武汉买的，但他需要在深圳办一个居住证，但他很快就办到了，所以他也是为深圳点赞。所以虽然他 虽然他的户口也不在深圳，他也没觉得自己是深圳人，但是他是喜欢深圳的，然后他也觉得不错，对，所以我觉得这个也是很重要的一点。可能我觉得一个城市它让人喜欢、认同，然后有归属感，这一些都是很重要的啦。
Laurent attributes the speed of Shenzhen's success to the clear vision of the city's founders.
This kind of huge evolution can only be possible when you have like a clear vision, like when Deng Xiaoping and when this a political leader so this place will become, you know, like the Silicon Valley of China in 40 years. Yeah, you can make it because you have like a long-term vision. This is only possible in, I believe, in countries where you have this kind of long-term vision for the people. It's much more difficult in our Western societies because of the, the vision is much shorter based on our, changing political powers, etc. I think that's the main reason where Shenzhen have been able to build this in such a short time. It's because the vision was the same since day one.
But things weren't always so simple. In its early years, Shenzhen developed an electronics manufacturing scene with a reputation for producing cheap imitation goods, but its young and well-educated workforce longed for the city to establish a name for itself. Laurent believes that Shenzhen is so much more than a city full of copycat companies these days.
Shenzhen has been a place where it was really about manufacturing, about assembly. So obviously we have like all these factories ready, and then you have like all the suppliers which have been, coming here to support these factories. Then the main strength and where it has been evolving is that step by step people have been coming designing their hardware, and then obviously so on top of their manufacturing, and now seeing it like also doing their own software capabilities, and finally making their own marketing and to build their own brands. So all of that together make like Shenzhen and the Greater Barrier like the best place for innovation and to conquer the world.
That is not to say that you shouldn't watch out for your competitors though.
The competition I would say in Shenzhen is very, very fierce. So when you have a good idea in the West, usually you will have, one or two competitors after 6 months, But in China and in Shenzhen, if you have a good idea, you will have like 10 competitors after 1 month of operation. So you have to, I think this brings you, like the hunger about, you are more hungry when you are in Shenzhen. People are very business oriented. So yeah, it's kind of tough, for people to succeed.
On the other hand, Stephen likes to take a philosophical approach when it comes to fighting off the competition.
You have to constantly be on the move. It's kind of like a shark. You need to keep on swimming. If you stop swimming, you're going to sink and you're going to die. So I'm just going to keep on swimming like a shark until I catch my whale.
Many people say that Shenzhen is a city lacking in its own identity. As most people originate from other areas of China, do its inhabitants truly feel as if it's their home? Elaine and Liu Yuhui are second-generation Shenzheners. They grew up in the city and they feel pretty strongly about its identity.
我觉得爸爸妈妈就是会把深圳当做他们一个奋斗的地方或什么之类的，然后他们的老家其实还是他们自己的老家，可能还在北方什么之类的，但是我们就会把深圳就当成自己的老家了。
Elaine believes that it is the openness and acceptance of outsiders that define the city.
像我的话，我是觉得说，深圳人可能比较能没有障碍的接受很多东西，是因为本身不像上海或者香港或者北京一样，本身已经它的初始设置就是一种很强的那种 他们的文化的底蕴，或者说价值观，或者说习俗。因为深圳相对还是一个很年轻的城市，就很多东西它没有原先有的一些固执在里面，所以就是它本身就是一个开放年轻的去学习的这样的一个态度。
When Elaine returns to her childhood home with her parents, it really hits home just how quickly the city has grown.
像这个莲花北以前我们来的时候，这个医院是没有的嘛？
是没？
这医院没有，我们来的时候没有。
有啊，
来了之后才开张的。
没有，我
来了之后过了2年才开张。
哦，但这个医院这几十年、10几年变化也没有很大吧？
很大。
原
来没有这栋楼，也没那栋楼，现在变成多了2栋楼，这样。
那倒也是。
Elaine's parents may have settled in Shenzhen many years ago, but they still remember their first impression very clearly.
我感觉到就是这样，这里真的是应该说人呐、个个好像充满活力啊，感觉到到处都是希望的感觉，都在建高楼啊，哎，什么突然今天又冒出一栋楼来，然后突然又冒出什么，就感觉到发展很快，就感觉到很有机会的感觉，切切实实。
It may have been love at first sight for Helen when she moved to Shenzhen, but it took a long time for her parents to come to terms with her decision.
就是虽然我在深圳这么多年，然后有自己的朋友，我都觉得说，哎，我在这边算是已经就是在这边算是已经是我都把这里当第2故乡了。然后在父母的概念里，他还是觉得我是在外面漂泊，对，所以可能是每个父母都会这样担心吧，但是我觉得最有帮助的一次就是请他们来这边过年。然后我记得我爸妈到的那一天，刚好是我们英国人的寒假班前的最后一次课，暑假班前的最后一次课，然后小朋友们就是下课，我妈妈在办公室，然后这些小朋友就是去跟我妈妈打招呼，然后他也看到我工作中是怎样一个很开心的状态，就是在他们就是他们在这生活的过程中，他们感受到在这个城市生活的便利，然后空气好，然后人们比较文明然后他们就觉得还挺好的。最大的一个变化就是他们开始拿着手上那点不多的积蓄，从原来的计划在老家让我们回去买房，到现在说，哎，要不在深圳买个房？虽然他们那一点积蓄就是首付肯定都不够，但是就是代表说，哎，爸妈支持你在深圳去安顿下来，去安家，
就证明他们心态上的一个变化。
对。
Perhaps one of the reasons parents have a hard time accepting their children moving to Shenzhen is the idea that this shiny new mega city is in fact a cultural desert. Mr. Gao, an artistic and seemingly well-cultured designer who grew up in neighbouring Hong Kong, is somewhat of a legend on the local cultural scene. We visited him at his pet project, the new bookstore, to find out his take on whether Shenzhen is a cultural desert.
所以那个时候我在决定来不来深圳的时候，我就问我一个深圳就工作的设计师朋友，问他深圳怎么样，会不会很危险？他那个时候就觉得，他觉得挺可笑吧，因为在他心目中深圳是很安全的这样的一个城市到今天呢，有时候他见面还会笑我，就把我那个时候问他的这个危险作为一个笑话来去说，但这个其实我觉得它是反映了一种你在不同的城市它虽然挨近在一起，但它是有这样的一层隔膜的。引申到一个让我挺惊讶的是，今年的 Lonely Planet 它把深圳选为10大最值得去旅游的城市。这个我觉得对很多深圳我同行也好，或者很多深圳的朋友来说，我觉得也有点惊讶吧因为就好像回应刚才说，深圳很多时候是给人觉得是一个 cultural desert， 就是一个文化沙漠吧。就你没想到，现在可能从国外来看， 对这个城市已经有另外的一种感受与面貌了哈，因为那个蛇口 V&A 的那个馆也开了嘛，甚至互联也是个世界级的一个博物馆啊，就有很多这样的一种世界级的一些文化的建筑，它逐步的出来啊。虽然它可能一开始它只是个外壳，但慢慢它的文化填补进去的时候，它的确会引导一个城市的这样的一种发展啊。我相信可能再过10年。深圳就不一定再是一个文化的沙漠了。
Well, so 10 years ago, there were many places that did not even exist here. At some point, actually, when I arrived, there were only one place where we could go out, or even very low entertainment life. Today is totally different. Like even here in our building at Huami or in the high-tech park, all this building did not exist. Like this is only 2 years ago that this tower has been built, and all you can see around here, all the new skyscrapers, we have like surrounding, all of that did not exist 10 years ago.
It's safe to say that has been a crazy journey for Shenzhen over the last 40 years. But now that it has developed into one of the world's most powerful megacities, what do its inhabitants think the city will look like in the future?
The big thing that's going to happen, in my opinion, is it's going to eventually lead to a megalopolis, because people are getting pushed from the center. Now where does Shenzhen end and where does the neighboring city of Dongguan begin? They're already touching. And as places like this get torn down for more expensive real estate, there's just going to be more and more people getting pushed out towards Dongguan.
比如说，我希望它更加国际化，它更加 world famous。因为我跟很多外国人聊，我一说我是深圳人，其实没有人听过。他们对于中国的城市的认识就只有上海、北京，然后香港。我只能说，深圳是香港北方的一个城市。我非常不希望是这样一种感觉。我知道香港很有历史、很出名，但是我希望在未来的某一天，大家不会再依托另外一个城市来介绍我的城市，而是说，哦，这就是深圳，这就是中国的深圳。
There is no doubt that Shenzhen is the child prodigy of China's economic explosion that has now grown into an accomplished adult. But as Shenzhen has gone from strength to strength over the past 40 years, what about the other cities in China? As Shenzhen has raced forward, is it fair to say that they have lagged behind? Next time, we pay a visit to Beijing, the capital city with over 3,000 years of history, to see if it has kept pace with the rapid development of cities such as Shenzhen over the last 40 years.